Are you struggling to maintain energy during your long runs or completely fading in races? Do you know someone who trains hard for a half marathon or full marathon but falls apart purely because of fueling mistakes? Here's the reality. If your fueling and hydration isn't dialed in, your fitness doesn't really matter. You will underperform and you will slow down. And in many cases, you'll completely break down late in the race. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly why your fueling is failing and give you a science-backed system to fix it so that you can actually perform to your potential. A massive problem with most runners is that in the area of underfueling and low carbohydrate availability. Most runners are simply not taking in enough fuel, especially carbohydrates. The reason why you may feel that you are not getting the most out of your runs is because you're not consuming enough carbs before or during your long runs. You are always trying to train on the low calorie intake without understanding the risks. And you're relying only on water or minimal intake of fuel in your runs and workouts. Your body stores carbohydrates as glycogen, primarily in your muscles and liver. This is your primary fuel source for moderate to high intensity running. But glycogen stores are limited. Typically, your body stores enough glycogen for around 60 to 90 minutes of sustained intense effort. When those stores run low, your body is forced to rely on more fat metabolism, which is significantly slower in producing energy. This then leads to reduced running paces as your body needs to operate at a level where it can convert fat stores into energy. Increased perceived effort. Your runs feel a lot harder than the data that your watch is actually telling you. And this is the classic, hitting the wall or bonking in your run or your workout. What I see all the time is runners training too hard, but completely underfueling and then wondering why they can't actually hold that pace. When this happens, the athlete starts to doubt their ability to run at a certain pace and their confidence starts to actually reduce. Another issue that I always see in runners is poor hydration and electrolyte management. Hydration isn't just about drinking water. It's about maintaining fluid and electrolyte balance. Some of the issues that runners don't consider are in the area of not drinking enough fluid during their long runs, ignoring sodium and electrolyte intake in their long runs and harder workouts, and over drinking plain water and therefore diluting their internal system. From a physiological standpoint, even a 2% loss in body weight through dehydration can significantly impair endurance performance because your blood will thicken and therefore your heart rate will go up because your heart has to now work harder to pump the thicker blood throughout your system. But it's not just about fluid intake, it's about electrolyte intake also, particularly sodium, because sodium plays a critical role in fluid retention, nerve signaling, and muscle contraction. When you lose too much sodium through sweat and don't replace it, you increase the risk of cramping and fatigue. Poor hydration and electrolyte management is one of the most misunderstood areas in endurance running. Now onto the top third problem. Having no fueling strategy or gut training is a more common issue than you would expect and comes mostly from poor information or people trying to do what elite runners are currently doing. Most runners don't actually practice fueling. They just wing it. And having this type of approach is the reason I see a lot of runners focusing everything on carbs and not calories and protein, practicing no structured calorie intake plan during their training, and experiencing gut issues when consuming carbs or protein in their race. Now here's the key issue. Your gut is trainable, just like your muscles. When you consume carbohydrates during running, your body needs to absorb and process them efficiently. And if you haven't trained your gut to handle this, you'll experience things like bloating, nausea, and GI distress. So even if you try to fuel properly, your body rejects it. This is why so many runners struggle on race day despite doing the physical trainings that I coach. Now, just before I get into the solutions on those common issues, if you have, or if you know someone who has those same issues, type "that's me" in the comment section for a link to a deeper, in-depth in-depth coaching video on this exact topic that I've made for all of my athletes that I currently coach, ranging from beginners, weekend warriors, and right through to national championship athletes representing their countries. Now let's get into a few solutions. If underfueling is the issue, the solution is building a structured carbohydrate strategy around your training that will also see you getting the right number of calories to fuel your training workouts and long runs. Things to consider here are: consume at least 200 to 300 calories of carb-dense food, or drink about 1 to 2 hours before your workout or race. Take in around 250 calories with 30 to 60 grams of carbs per hour during your long runs or race. For more advanced athletes, this can be as high as 350 to 400 calories or 90 grams of carbs. How long will your long run or race be? If it's longer than 4 hours, then right from the start of the run, you'll want to consider consuming about 5 grams of protein per hour as a part of your fueling plan in order to prevent muscular breakdown. Refuel post-run with a carbs plus protein ratio of 2 grams of carbs for every gram of protein in order to restore glycogen levels and restore muscle damage. Here's why this works. Carbohydrates are your most efficient energy source during endurance running. By fueling before and during your runs, you maintain blood glucose levels, preserve glycogen stores, and delay fatigue. From a physiological standpoint, this supports sustained output and reduces reliance on slower fat metabolism. Now, how do you actually apply this? Start by introducing carbs into your long runs. Don't wait until race day. Use gels, carb drink mixes, and easily digestible carbs. Personally, I can't stand using gels in a road race, but let me know what you think of gels in the comments section. A common mistake that I see many runners making in this area is that they either underfuel for their run or race, or they suddenly try to consume too much too quickly. So here's how to progress with this fueling. Start at 30 grams of carbs per hour. Gradually increase towards 60 grams of carbs per hour. Train your body to tolerate a higher intake during your long runs. From a coaching perspective, this is one of the biggest areas that unlocks better performance for distance runners. Now let's look at structuring your hydration and electrolytes. Hydration needs to be individualized and structured, not random. Aim for 400 to 800 mils of fluid per hour, depending on conditions like temperature and exertion levels. Include sodium in your fluids with levels of around 300 to 700 milligrams per hour as a starting point, and then fine tune this in your training. Adjust your hydration and electrolyte levels based on your sweat rate, climate, and your exertion levels for your workout or the race that you're about to do. Now here's why this actually matters. Sodium helps your body retain fluid and maintain proper cellular function. Without it, even if you're just drinking water, so you're not actually hydrating effectively. Sodium helps your body retain fluid and maintain proper cellular function. Without it, even if you're drinking just water, you're not actually hydrating effectively. Correct application here is the key. Start to consider how you can practice hydration during your long runs, weigh yourself pre and post run to estimate your sweat loss. Adjust your intake based on conditions like heat, humidity, and the duration of your workout. Common mistakes that I see runners make when it comes to their hydration is either drinking too little in the early part of a marathon or half marathon, and then they try to play catch up on the back end of the race. It's too late by then. Once you're dehydrated in a race, it's hard to come back from that and maintain the same level of output that you had in the beginning. From a coaching standpoint, focusing on your hydration strategy should be as planned and as important as your pacing strategy. So now let's look at solutions around training your gut and practicing your race fueling. This should be viewed as a critical part of your training and pacing plan. Although practicing race fueling has been a staple part of marathon and half marathon training, more recently, athletes are starting to put a lot of focus on training their gut to digest the larger volume of carbs and calories during a race whilst working at a higher level of intensity. If your gut can handle more fuel, then your race day performance will always be stronger. Some things that I have spent years training my athletes on are: practice race day fueling and long runs in the same way you'll actually be using them on race day. Gradually increase carb intake per hour to train absorption the more the better. Use the same products and timing of consumption as you'll use in your actual race come race day. Now here's the science. Your gut adapts by increasing the expression of carbohydrate transporters, allowing you to absorb more carbs over time. As you continue to train your gut to handle more calorie and carbs per hour, this will mean less GI distress, better energy delivery, improved performance and output. But this only happens if you train it. So to get a better result in your next race, just remember to start small, build up your calories and carbs per hour over time, build tolerance through fueling every long run, practice, and keep on practicing. Don't try new things on race day. Instead, mimic race conditions until it's second nature to you. Practice taking fuel at regular intervals by setting a timer on your watch and dial in your exact race plan. So if you want to run your next half marathon or marathon at your true potential, then your fueling and hydration needs to be just as structured as your training is. Now, just out of interest, what type of fueling do you use in your race? Do you prefer carb drinks, gels, or no fuel? Let me know your answer in the comments below. Now, if you want to train for your next half marathon, or ultra marathon without constantly getting injured, then you need to see how you can structure your training in a way that actually manages load, recovery, and progression properly. Now, if you have been wanting to get a lot more out of your running, but not sure who to trust or who to listen to amongst all the noise out there, then why not consider doing a no-cost video call with me so that I can show you how you can use my training app to build out all of your training with the correct structure for what you are currently training for. As a Run the Race member, you will be able to use over 150 workouts that I have personally built for all of our athletes that cover all areas like running, indoor cycling, swimming, and strength work. Building your workouts in the app is as easy as dragging and dropping the workout onto the desired days that you are looking to complete them on. By using the comment section on each workout, you will have constant ongoing contact with me as your running coach for anything to do with your training. Also, with our pain and injury report feature, you'll be able to notify me of any niggles that are arising, which then allows for me to assess your current training load and provide some much needed feedback in order to prevent any injury. You will also have complete access to our athlete portal where you can access all of our training material and online running form and technique courses to improve your running experience and make you a more confident runner. Simply jump onto my website and fill in the email form and type video call in the what would you like advice on area, and I will email you to work out the best time that suits you no matter what time zone you're in. Don't forget to also follow me on Strava, as it's where I post all of my training and day-to-day training tips and advice that will help you stay motivated on the road to your running goals. There is a link in the description, or simply scan this QR code to go straight through to my athlete profile. Also, if you got a lot out of this video, then don't forget to hit the like button, and I will see you in the next coaching video.